So this is testing to see if you got the sum or difference formulas for sine and cosine down. Alright, so what we want to do here is just jot down the formulas. We're going to be using sine of a plus b, sine a, cosine b, sine b, cosine a, and cosine a plus b, cosine a, cosine b, sine a, sine b. Right? And if you want to use the negative form, it's going to actually just flip those signs around. So if you're a formula person and you need to do that, that's fine. Okay, so what is the trick here? Well, we want to use a sum or difference formula to find the sine and cosine of 15, but we don't know like 10 and 5. If we had 10 and 5, we could find 15, but we have to start with something that we know analytically. So we're going to do something like 60 degrees minus 45 degrees. So I'm going to just add negative 45 degrees, but if you already have the difference formula on your formula sheet, go ahead and do it that way. All right. So I'm going to use the first formula, sine of 60 times cosine of minus 45 degrees plus sine of minus 45 degrees cosine of 60 degrees. Now you may say, well, I don't remember. That's okay, we'll figure this out, right? So 60 degrees looks kind of like this. Well, it did. If this is 60 degrees, then this is what these angles look like, and you can figure that out because, again, this is half of an equilateral triangle. So if you don't remember, you can just figure it out. Well, there we go. And the other one is half of a square. So you're going to just say, okay, those were equal, and this is square root of 2. I'm sorry these are so crooked. All right, there we go. So now we know everything we need to know. Cosine of 60 degrees, sorry, sine of 60 degrees is y over r, and then cosine of negative 45, well, just remember, cosine does this kind of thing, right? And so whatever happens on this side happens on that side, so the negative sign doesn't matter. But then what about sine? What does sine do? Sine looks like that. So it flips around. So if sine of theta is positive here, sine of the negative, same thing as negative, so it's got a flippy floppy going on. So this guy, the negative comes out. There we go. Alright, so what's the cosine of 45 degrees? 1 over root 2. Sine of 45 is the same. Cosine of 60, x over r. Great. So we have root 3 minus 1 over 2 root 2. And please do not try to rationalize it. I feel like I'm going to just double check my work, so I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's right. I have it wrong in my notes, but I'm pretty sure I did it right just now. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing again for cosine. So I'm going to have cosine of 60, cosine of negative 45 degrees, minus sine of 60, sine of minus 45 degrees. And just as before, this negative sign gets to stay. It comes outside, whereas this negative sign we get rid of for free. And then we just work this out. Cosine of 60 degrees. So I come over the 60 degree triangle. Cosine is x over r. And then cosine over here, x over r. Sine of 60, root 3 over 2. And sine of 45, 1 over root 2. So I get 1 plus root 3 over 2 root 2. And what I would do is I would do a couple things. First of all, I'd sanity check that sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. And I could either do that with the decimal form or this form. I'm going to go ahead and check out the decimal form for this thing because I will feel better if, you know what, mode, let me see, I'm going to try to switch it to degrees. Hold on a second. Okay, it is in degrees. So I want to find out what the sine and cosine of 15 degrees are, just for reference. So sine of 15, it should be about 0.2588, and cosine of 15 should be 0.9659. Okay, so now let's see. We have 1 plus 3 to the 0.5 equals something. Divide by 2 times 2 to the 0.5. Let's see what that equals. Yep, this one worked. Let's try the other one. Root 3 minus 1, 3 to the power of 0.5 minus 1 equals, divide by, that's actually just 2 to the power of 1.5, so I'll just key it in that way. And this one works. Okay, so I'm happy. That's good. I'm pretty happy. You know, like if my calculator just said that that was right, I'm not going to continue working on this. But just to show you what my other test was going to be, I'm going to say sine squared plus cosine squared. Ta-da! It equals 1. Great. So now I'm really, really sure I did it correctly. And, right. I'm done for now.